Question 1. Cyber risk management. Which of the following is a key factor when assessing cyber risk in the context of supply chain vulnerabilities? A. The presence of firewalls and intrusion detection systems within the company. B. The financial health of the organization alone. C. The cybersecurity posture of the third-party vendors and suppliers. D. The number of employees working remotely. Answer: C. The cybersecurity posture of the third-party vendors and suppliers. Explanation: in cyber risk management, assessing the cybersecurity posture of third-party vendors is crucial due to the risk that these suppliers could be compromised, leading to breaches affecting the insured entity. While internal factors like firewalls and intrusion detection systems are essential for risk mitigation, the third-party risk is especially important in today's interconnected supply chains. Cyber incidents originating from a vendor can result in significant liabilities, making it a core consideration in cyber risk assessments. Financial health alone is not a sufficient indicator of cybersecurity risks, nor is the number of remote employees the sole determinant of cyber vulnerabilities. Question 2. Cyber incident response. Mr. Anderson's company has just been hit by a ransomware attack that has locked down all critical data systems. The IT department has confirmed the breach but has not yet determined the full scope. What should the company do first to address this situation? A. Immediately notify the cyber insurance provider to initiate a claim. B. Begin attempting to pay the ransom to restore systems quickly. C. Implement the incident response plan and assess the damage. D. Publicly disclose the attack to avoid any potential regulatory fines. Answer: C. Implement the incident response plan and assess the damage. Explanation: the first step in responding to a cyber attack is always to follow the company's incident response plan. This includes isolating affected systems to prevent further damage, assessing the scope of the attack, and initiating necessary steps to mitigate damage. Payment of the ransom, option B, should be avoided unless it is part of a legally recommended strategy. Immediate notification to the insurer, option A, should follow the initial steps of assessment, and public disclosure, option D, may be required only after determining the full scope and complying with relevant notification laws, such as Delaware's data breach notification requirements. Question 3. Regulatory and legal compliance. Which of the following is true regarding Delaware's data breach notification laws? They: Delaware businesses are required to notify affected individuals within 30 days of a data breach. B. Notification to affected individuals is only required if the breach involves personal health information. C. The Delaware Department of Technology and Information (DTI) must be notified within 30 days of a breach. D. Only businesses based in Delaware must comply with the data breach notification laws. And so A. Delaware businesses are required to notify affected individuals within 30 days of a data breach. Explanation: under Delaware's data breach notification laws, businesses are required to notify affected individuals within 30 days if personal data has been compromised in a breach. This applies regardless of whether the breach involves health-related information. The Delaware Department of Technology and Information (DTI) is not specifically mandated to be notified within 30 days, option C. Additionally, these laws apply to any business operating in Delaware, not just those based in the state, option D. The inclusion of personal health information does not limit the law's applicability, option B. Question 4. Cyber insurance policy structuring. Which of the following is most likely to be excluded from a cyber insurance policy? A. Data breach costs arising from unauthorized access to personal data. B. Cyber extortion expenses related to ransomware attacks. C. Losses resulting from a network failure due to a cyber attack. D. Legal fees for defending against a privacy violation lawsuit. Answer: C. Losses resulting from a network failure due to a cyber attack. Explanation: cyber insurance policies often exclude damages resulting from network failure due to cyber attacks under the systemic failure exclusion. This means that while data breach costs, option A, and expenses related to cyber extortion, option B, are covered, coverage for damages related to network downtime caused by a cyber event might not be included. Legal fees for defending privacy violation lawsuits, option D, may be covered under some circumstances, especially if related to the data breach. Question 5. Claims and coverage under cyber insurance. Which of the following factors is most likely to affect the scope of coverage for a cyber insurance claim related to a data breach? A. The number of employees in the company. B. The severity of the data breach on the company's reputation. C. Whether the breach involved personally identifiable information. D. The company's office location. Answer C. Whether the breach involved personally identifiable information. PI. Explanation. The scope of coverage in a cyber insurance policy is most heavily influenced by whether the data breach involved personally identifiable information. PI. As breaches involving PII often trigger higher coverage limits and stricter notification requirements. The number of employees, option A, and office location, option D, are not primary factors in determining the scope of coverage. The severity of the breach on reputation, option B, may be relevant to the company's financial losses but does not directly affect coverage scope. Question 6. Technology and tools in cyber insurance. Which of the following tools would be most helpful for underwriters in assessing the cybersecurity posture of an insured organization? A. Business continuity planning tools. B. Social engineering attack simulation software. C. Cybersecurity auditing tools. D. Cloud storage providers' performance metrics. Answer. C. Cybersecurity auditing tools. Explanation. Cybersecurity auditing tools are crucial for underwriters to assess the security measures in place, such as firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and encryption protocols. These tools help underwriters evaluate the actual cybersecurity posture of an organization and determine the risk level for coverage. Business continuity planning tools, option A, are important for disaster recovery, but don't directly assess an organization's cybersecurity defenses. Social engineering simulations, option B, and cloud storage performance metrics, option D, are more relevant to specific types of risk but don't offer a comprehensive cybersecurity assessment. Question 7. Cyber risk management. Which of the following is a key factor in mitigating third-party cyber risk? A. Implementing internal firewalls. B. Establishing clear contracts with third-party vendors regarding cybersecurity requirements. C. Conducting an employee training program on phishing attacks. D. Limiting access to social media platforms for employees. Answer. B. Establishing clear contracts with third-party vendors regarding cybersecurity requirements. Explanation. Mitigating third-party cyber risk requires clear contracts that specify cybersecurity measures, responsibilities, and liabilities. These agreements can help hold vendors accountable for their role in preventing cyber incidents that could affect the insured entity, while internal firewalls, option A, and employee training on phishing, option C, are important for internal risk mitigation. They do not directly address the risks posed by third-party vendors. Limiting social media access, option D, is not a primary strategy for mitigating third-party risk. Question 8. Types of cyber insurance coverage. Which of the following is NOT typically covered under a standard cyber insurance policy? A. Data breach costs, including notification expenses. B. Cyber extortion costs resulting from a ransomware attack. C. Loss of income due to a system downtime from a cyber event. D. Legal fees for defending against intellectual property theft claims. Answer. D. Legal fees for defending against intellectual property theft claims. Explanation. Cyber insurance policies generally do not cover legal fees for defending against intellectual property theft claims unless directly related to a cyber event. Coverage typically includes data breach costs, option A, cyber extortion, option B, and business interruption, option C. Due to cyber incidents, legal defense for intellectual property issues is often covered by separate general liability or intellectual property insurance, not cyber insurance. Question 9. Regulatory and legal compliance. Which of the following laws mandates that businesses must implement safeguards to protect sensitive data and report any breaches involving personal health information? FI, Federal Trade Commission, FTC, guidelines. B. Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA. C. General Data Protection Regulation, DDR. D. Delaware Data Breach Notification Law. Answer. B. Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA. Explanation. HIPAA mandates that covered entities and business associates implement safeguards to protect PHI and report any breaches, while the FTC guidelines, option A, offer general data protection principles. They are not as prescriptive as HIPAA in terms of healthcare data. The GDPR, option C, applies to the European Union and governs personal data protections but does not specifically target PHI. Delaware's Data Breach Notification Law, option D, requires breach notifications but does not mandate safeguards for health data. Question 10. Fraud prevention in cyber insurance. Which of the following would be considered a red flag for potential fraudulent cyber insurance claims? A. The insured's report of a cyber attack with an unusually high financial loss. B. The insured company implementing multi-factor authentication immediately after a breach. C. The insured notifying the insurer of a cyber event shortly after detection. D. The insured reporting a breach despite not having prior insurance coverage. Answer A. The insured's report of a cyber attack with an unusually high financial loss. Explanation. A claim reporting an unusually high financial loss compared to typical claims could be a red flag for fraud, as it might suggest exaggerated or fabricated losses. A multi-factor authentication, option B, is a proactive and positive security measure that strengthens security, not a red flag. Prompt reporting of a breach, option C, is standard protocol. Reporting a breach despite not having prior coverage, option D, may be an indication of an insurer trying to claim coverage retroactively, but it is not inherently fraudulent. Question 11. Cyber insurance policy limitations. Which of the following would most likely be excluded from a cyber insurance policy under the Act of War exclusion? A phishing attack that compromises an organization's network. B. A cyber attack originating from a nation-state actor. C. A data breach caused by an employee mishandling sensitive data. D. A malware infection resulting from a weak firewall. Answer B. A cyber attack originating from a nation-state actor. Explanation. Many cyber insurance policies contain an acts of war exclusion that excludes coverage for damages caused by actions considered acts of war, including cyber attacks originating from nation-state actors. While phishing attacks, option A, employee mishandling, option C, and malware infections, option D, are typically covered, attacks linked to military or state-sponsored activities may be excluded. Question 12. Cyber insurance coverage for business interruption. Which of the following scenarios would likely trigger coverage under a cyber insurance policy for business interruption? A company experiences a website outage for several hours due to a DDoS attack. B. A data breach results in unauthorized access to customer emails. C. An employee unknowingly installs malware on a computer. D. A ransomware attack leads to the company's critical systems being locked. Answer D. A ransomware attack leads to the company's critical systems being locked. Explanation. Business interruption coverage typically applies when a cyber incident disrupts critical business operations. A ransomware attack that locks critical systems, option D, could cause significant downtime, leading to a valid claim for business interruption. Website outages, option A, and data breaches, option B, may cause operational challenges but do not necessarily lead to the same level of disruption required for business interruption coverage. Malware installation, option C, could lead to an incident, but on its own does not guarantee business interruption. Question 13. Cyber risk mitigation strategies. Which of the following would be the most effective way for a company to reduce the risk of a cyber attack involving sensitive customer data? A. Offering a reward for finding vulnerabilities in the company's network. B. Installing antivirus software and updating it regularly. C. Hiring a third-party firm to handle public relations in case of a breach. D. Limiting the use of cloud-based systems for storing customer data. Answer B. Installing antivirus software and updating it regularly. Explanation. Regularly updating antivirus software is a basic and effective measure to protect against many types of cyber threats, including those targeting sensitive customer data. Offering rewards for finding vulnerabilities, option A, could be a useful incentive but does not directly mitigate the risk of a cyber attack. Public relations efforts, option C, are reactive measures and do not prevent attacks. Limiting cloud usage, option D, could reduce exposure, but modern cloud systems are often more secure than on-premises solutions when properly managed. Question 14. Coverage limits in cyber insurance. What is typically the most significant limitation in a cyber insurance policy that could affect the company's ability to recover from a cyber event? A. Coverage for business interruption losses. B. Sublimits for certain types of claims such as data breach notification costs. C. Exclusions related to system failures caused by the company's internal negligence. D. High deductibles that apply to certain claims. Answer B. Sublimits for certain types of claims such as data breach notification costs. Explanation. One common limitation in cyber insurance policies is the presence of sublimits for specific types of claims, such as those related to data breach notification costs, while business interruption coverage, option A, exclusions for internal negligence, option C, and high deductibles, option D, are common limitations. Sublimits can severely restrict the amount of coverage available for critical claims. Question 15. Cybersecurity training and awareness. Which of the following is the most effective way to reduce human error-related cybersecurity risks? A. Requiring employees to use complex passwords. B. Implementing mandatory cybersecurity training programs for all employees. C. Restricting employees' access to social media. D. Limiting employee access to company email systems. Answer: B. Implementing mandatory cybersecurity training programs for all employees. Explanation: mandatory cybersecurity training programs are the most effective way to reduce human error-related risks because they educate employees on recognizing phishing attempts, secure data handling, and safe practices. Complex passwords, option A, help security but do not address all types of human error. Restricting social media access, option C, and email access, option D, may limit exposure but are less effective in addressing broader cybersecurity awareness and training needs. Question 16. Cybersecurity frameworks. Which of the following cybersecurity frameworks is most commonly used by organizations to establish, implement, and manage cybersecurity risk management programs? A. ISO 27001. B. NIST Cybersecurity Framework (CSF). C. Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard (ECESS). D. General Data Protection Regulation (E). Answer: B. NIST Cybersecurity Framework (CSF). Explanation: the NIST Cybersecurity Framework (CSF) is widely adopted by organizations to manage and reduce cybersecurity risks, focusing on identifying, protecting against, detecting, responding to, and recovering from cyber threats, while ISO 27001, option A, is OLO, a well-recognized standard. The NIST CSF is more commonly used in the United States. PCI DSS, option C, is specific to payment card industry standards, and GDPR, option D, focuses on data protection and privacy, not directly on cybersecurity risk management. Question 17. Cyber liability and data privacy. Which of the following types of data breaches is most likely to trigger regulatory fines and penalties under privacy laws like GDPR or CCPA? A. An employee inadvertently sending an email with encrypted customer data to the wrong recipient. B. A hacker gaining unauthorized access to a company's customer database containing sensitive personal information. C. A company experiencing a website outage affecting customer access to their accounts. D. A data loss event due to a corrupted file on an employee's personal laptop. Answer: B. A hacker gaining unauthorized access to a company's customer database containing sensitive personal information. Explanation: a breach involving unauthorized access to sensitive personal data, option B, typically triggers regulatory fines and penalties under privacy laws like GDPR or CCPA. These laws impose strict requirements on companies regarding data protection, and violations can result in heavy penalties. Sending an email to the wrong recipient, option A, website outages, option C, and data loss due to corruption, option D, may still cause operational disruptions but do not automatically trigger regulatory penalties. Question 18. Data encryption in cyber insurance. Which of the following is most likely to reduce a company's cyber insurance premium? A. Offering employee incentives for reporting security vulnerabilities. B. Encrypting all sensitive data stored and transmitted by the company. C. Installing firewalls on the company's network. D. Conducting regular social engineering tests. Answer: B. Encrypting all sensitive data stored and transmitted by the company. Explanation: encrypting sensitive data both at rest and in transit is a best practice that significantly reduces the likelihood of data breaches and other cyber threats, which can result in lower cyber insurance premiums. Offering employee incentives, option A, installing firewalls, option C, and conducting social engineering tests, option D, are important but do not directly lead to premium reductions in the same way that comprehensive data encryption does. Question 19. Cybersecurity incident response. Which of the following actions should be taken first in response to a detected ransomware attack? A. Inform all employees about the attack and advise them to stop working. B. Isolate the infected systems to prevent further spread of the ransomware. C. Attempt to pay the ransom to restore access to the systems. D. Notify the public relations team to prepare a press release. Answer: B. Isolate the infected systems to prevent further spread of the ransomware. Explanation: The first step in responding to a ransomware attack is to isolate the infected systems to prevent the ransomware from spreading to other parts of the network. Informing employees, option A, and notifying the public relations team, option D, are important but come after the initial containment of the attack. Attempting to pay the ransom, option C, is discouraged as it does not guarantee system restoration and may encourage further attacks. Question 20. Cyber insurance claims process. What is typically the first step in the claims process for a cyber insurance policyholder after experiencing a cyber event? A. Hire a forensic investigator to analyze the cause of the incident. B. Contact the insurance provider to report the incident. C. Notify affected individuals about the breach. D. Make an attempt to recover any lost or stolen data. Answer. B. Contact the insurance provider to report the incident. Explanation. The first step after experiencing a cyber event is to contact the insurance provider to report the incident. The insurer will guide the policyholder through the claims process, while hiring a forensic investigator, option A, notifying affected individuals, option C, and attempting data recovery, option D, are important. They come after the initial notification to the insurer to ensure that the event is covered under the policy. Question 21. Cyber insurance coverage for third-party claims. Which of the following scenarios would most likely trigger coverage under a cyber insurance policy for third-party claims? A. A company's employee accidentally shares sensitive client data in an email. B. A customer sues a company for breach of contract due to a system outage. C. A competitor files a lawsuit alleging data theft. D. A hacker gains access to a supplier's network and disrupts operations. Answer. B. A customer sues a company for breach of contract due to a system outage. Explanation. A third-party claim typically involves a lawsuit or legal action taken by an external entity, in this case the customer, due to damages incurred from a cyber event, such as a system outage. Coverage for data theft by competitors, option C, or disruptions in a supplier's network, option D, would be subject to the terms of the policy but generally don't trigger coverage unless specifically outlined in the contract. Accidentally sharing data, option A, may result in a breach of confidentiality, but it is more likely to fall under first-party coverage. Question 22. Privacy regulations and cyber insurance under the General Data Protection Regulation (GDR). Which of the following would most likely trigger a requirement for a company to notify affected individuals of a data breach? A. Unauthorized access to non-sensitive employee data. B. Exposure of customer payment information in a public forum. C. Loss of encrypted backup files on an internal server. D. Interruption of email services for a few hours. Answer. B. Exposure of customer payment information in a public forum. Explanation. Under GDPR, organizations must notify affected individuals when there is a breach that risks the privacy of personal data, especially when sensitive information such as customer payment information is exposed to the public. Unauthorized access to non-sensitive employee data, option A, loss of encrypted backup files, option C, and email service interruptions, option D, may not trigger such a requirement unless the breach involves personal data or significant harm. Question 23. Cyber insurance policy terms. What is a retroactive date? ECA cyber insurance policy. A. The date from which the policyholder is covered for past cyber incidents. B. The date on which the insurer begins to pay claims. C. The date the policyholder first purchased cyber insurance. D. The date the policyholder must notify the insurer of an incident. Answer A. The date from which the policyholder is covered for past cyber incidents. Explanation. A retroactive date in a cyber insurance policy refers to the point in time from which coverage for past incidents is applied. If an event occurs before the retroactive date, the policy will not cover the incident. This is particularly important for claims involving incidents that were not known or reported at the time they occurred. It does not refer to the date the insurer pays claims, option B, or the date of purchase, option C. Question 24. Cyber insurance exclusions. Which of the following would most likely be excluded from coverage in a cyber insurance policy under cyber terrorism exclusion? A. A cyber attack that disrupts critical national infrastructure. B. An employee stealing trade secrets. C. A cyber extortion attempt demanding a ransom. D. A third-party vendor losing customer data. Answer A. A cyber attack that disrupts critical national infrastructure. Explanation. A cyber terrorism exclusion typically excludes incidents involving politically or ideologically motivated attacks, such as those targeting national infrastructure. The other scenarios, like employee theft, option B, cyber extortion, option C, and third-party vendor data loss, option D, would likely be covered under most cyber insurance policies unless specific exclusions apply. Question 25. Data backup requirements. Which of the following best practices would most likely be recommended to mitigate the risk of data loss and improve the recovery process after cyber attack? A. Storing backup solely on local servers. B. Regularly updating backup encryption protocols. C. Only backing up critical business data. D. Relying on the cloud provider's backup systems without any internal backup. Answer. B. Regularly updating backup encryption protocols. Explanation. Regularly updating backup encryption protocols ensures that the backups remain secure and are not vulnerable to cyber threats, while storing backups, option A, and only backing up critical data, option C, are necessary. Relying solely on cloud providers, option D, may expose an organization to risks if those services are compromised. Question 26. Incident response plan. What is the primary purpose of an incident response plan in a cybersecurity framework? A. To ensure that an organization follows legal and regulatory guidelines. B. To outline the steps for recovering from a cybersecurity breach. C. To establish a system for reporting data breaches to third parties. D. To protect the organization from future cyber attacks. Answer. B. To outline the steps for recovering from a cybersecurity breach. Explanation. An incident response plan focuses on defining the actions to take during and after cybersecurity breach, including identification, containment, and recovery, while legal and regulatory guidelines, option A, and third-party reporting, option C, are important. The primary purpose is to facilitate a rapid recovery from a breach. Protecting against future attacks, option D, is part of the broader cybersecurity strategy but not the sole focus of the response plan. Question 27. Ransomware insurance coverage. In a ransomware attack, what would most likely be covered under a cyber insurance policy? A. The cost of paying the ransom demand. B. The cost of recovering encrypted data without paying the ransom. C. The cost of upgrading security software to prevent future attacks. D. The cost of public relations services to manage the attack's reputation damage. Answer. B. The cost of recovering encrypted data without paying the ransom. Explanation. Cyber insurance policies typically cover the costs associated with recovery from ransomware attacks, including hiring experts to decrypt data or restore systems without paying the ransom. While paying the ransom, option A, may be covered under certain policies, most insurers discourage paying and prefer alternative recovery methods. Upgrading security software, option C, and managing reputation damage, option D, may be covered, but they are less directly related to the actual cost of data recovery. Question 20. Business interruption and cyber insurance. Which of the following is typically covered under business interruption coverage in a cyber insurance policy? A. Loss of revenue due to a system shutdown caused by a DDoS attack. B. Cost of fixing software vulnerabilities. C. Expense for legal fees related to data theft lawsuits. D. Costs incurred in hiring a cybersecurity consultant for future threats. Answer A. Loss of revenue due to a system shutdown caused by a DDoS attack. Explanation. Business interruption coverage in a cyber insurance policy generally covers lost revenue and expenses due to the disruption of business operations caused by a cyber event, such as a DDoS attack that brings down critical systems. The other expenses, like fixing vulnerabilities, option B, legal fees, option C, and hiring consultants, option D, are typically covered under separate provisions or policies. Question 29. Cyber insurance claims documentation. Which of the following would be most important to document in the event of a cyber insurance claim? A. The personal opinions of employees about the breach. B. The exact timeline of the cyber event and actions taken. C. The personal backgrounds of the employees involved. D. The media coverage related to the cyber event. Answer. B. The exact timeline of the cyber event and actions taken. Explanation. Documenting the timeline of the event and the actions taken during the incident is crucial for making a successful cyber insurance claim. This documentation helps demonstrate that the organization took appropriate steps to respond and mitigate the damage. Personal opinions, option A, employee backgrounds, option C, and media coverage, option D, are not relevant to the claims process. Question 30. Vendor risk management in cyber insurance. Which of the following practices is most likely to reduce a company's cyber insurance premium by minimizing third-party risk? A. Establishing a comprehensive vendor risk management program. B. Outsourcing all cybersecurity functions to a third-party provider. C. Reducing the number of employees with access to critical data. D. Storing sensitive data in a secure off-site location. Answer A. Establishing a comprehensive vendor risk management program. Explanation. A vendor risk management program ensures that third-party vendors follow the company's cybersecurity and privacy protocols, reducing the potential for a breach via a third-party partner. Outsourcing, option B, may not always reduce risk and could increase exposure. Reducing employee access, option C, and storing data off-site, option D, are good practices but do not specifically address third-party risk.